Hi guys, Joshua here again. So today I'll be walking you through a short breakdown, right? It's a teardown of why your AI generated blog content isn't converting. So I'll be walking you through basically the mistakes, and then basically how to fix it, and the reasons why uh you should make these changes. Yeah. So we'll take a look at some of these articles, right? So the first one is about improving your garage's bottom line, right, with garage management software. Yeah. So these are articles that you would write to basically answer the question of your ICP. In this case, it would be garage owners, right, and how using your software, right, can improve their bottom line, right. So if you just look at all the intros, right, introduction is like a very big part of it, right. When people read that first part, if it doesn't resonate with them, right, if it doesn't feel like you understand them, you're kind of losing the attention that they have, right. So if you see how this is written, right, this is clearly used by AI. Yeah. And it's basically there is no type of vetting, right, there is no thought put into it, right. You are saying car garages are in a competitive marketplace. It's like, yeah, so what, everyone knows that, right. With numerous garages vying for the attention of vehicle owners, improving your bottom line is more crucial than ever, so it's like, this is like Captain Obvious, right. It's kind of things that you're writing that uh you're basically signaling to the prospect that you are an amateur, right. You do not know or understand me as an ICP, because you're writing things that reflect basically very poorly on yourself, right, in terms of the quality of the writing and the standard, right. And then this breaks trust almost immediately, right. And then you go on here to say that one of the most effective ways to stay ahead in this competitive landscape is by leveraging garage management software. Yeah. So it's like, uh how can you make this claim, right? Who are you to make this claim to say that this is the most effective way? Yeah. So instead, how you should go about writing it, right, is when someone is looking for this, right, and this is a large part of why you need to understand your ICP, right. In this case, is garage business owners. Yeah. So you need to think from their perspective, right, and understand where they are currently at in their research process, right. So one way to rewrite the intro for this topic, right, is using validation. Yeah. So you say, if you are weighing up garage management software options, you are already on the right track, right. This is basically reaffirming that they are already looking at improving their bottom line, right, and the probability of them looking at different options is already there. So when you write it this way now, yeah, it signals to them that, oh, this guy gets me, right. There's trust because he's able to describe exactly what I'm actually feeling or thinking, right, as I'm searching for a solution. Yeah. And then you see the next line: choosing the right system is one of the most impactful decision owners a garage owner can make. Yeah. But knowing what to look for starts with understanding what good software should actually do for your business, right. So this second part is signaling to them that you are understanding the importance, right, of this decision that they're making, right, and you're actually going to help them, right, and you are framing it in the perspective of understanding what good software should actually do for your business. Yeah. So even the tone that you're writing it in is coming from the perspective of someone who is here to help you make the best decision, right, and it's not just typical AI slop that just like, oh yeah, this and that and that and that, and then it just comes across as very spammy, right, and such content won't do well. Yeah, because it's not written for a human, right. So we take a look at another one, right. So this is another very common one: how to choose the right uh, garage management software. Yeah. So if you see how it's written, when it comes to running a garage, one of the most vital decisions you will make is choosing the right management software. So again, you're making such a strange or broad stroke assumption, right. And you look at the language of the following line: the stakes are high, opt for the wrong system and you could end up with a fragmented workflow that saps time and energy. Yeah. So again, this communicates to the person that this is clearly not written professionally, right? And this is a reflection of your business. You need to think about that. Everything that you put online on your website, right, to the content that you write and all this stuff, it will reflect to the prospect that, okay, this person doesn't really uh, exhibit that level of understanding, right? And so I don't trust that person. Yeah. So this is another way you can write it, right? This is social proof through experience, right? This is another trust mechanism that you can use, right, for the intro. Yeah. If you're reading this, chances are you've already heard how other garage owners are improving their bottom line with the right management software. Yeah. So this, right, is internal linking back to the previous article, right? And you're also utilizing it in a very specific way, right? You are saying, you're implying, right, that if you're reading this, right, how to choose the right software, right, chances are you've already heard how other garage owners are improving their bottom line. You see? So you're reinforcing to them that, oh shit, choosing this right software can actually impact me as a business owner, which is improving their bottom line. Yeah. And then from there you go on to say, now you're left with the obvious question, which one do you actually choose, right? And then this is where you drop in your social proof, right? Having worked with over 1,000 garages, we have seen firsthand what makes the difference between a system that works and doesn't work. You see? So this whole thing now is in line again with your ICP, right? And understanding the different type of triggers, right, to build that trust in them so that they just stay on your page long, right? And then they will trust you and they'll actually be more willing to book a demo with you, right? So if we look at another one, the benefits, right, of garage management software. Yeah. So you see again how the intro is written. Garage management software is a term that's often used when it comes to the automotive industry, right? Like it's some broad stroke line that you're writing again. Yeah. And then like what does this mean for your business, right? If you're interested in learning more about this and this, right, to find out how it might have a business, keep reading. Yeah. And then from there you'll go on again to write. Garage management software essentially allows motor businesses of all sizes to track their this and this and that. Yeah. So it's like, again, it's not, you're not writing for a human, right? The way this is being written is basically just AI, and then you just throw it and then you just tell it to like, oh, define what it can do, define what it does. But it's not talking about the ICP, right? About their problems, about their concerns, which is eventually what gets you to build trust. Yeah. So this is another one, right? It's about honesty. Yeah. So if you have been looking into choosing the right garage management software, you're probably asking yourself the same question most garage owners do, right? Do the benefits actually justify the cost? Yeah. Because when someone is searching for this, right, when they're searching for the benefits of it, right, they are now basically weighing, I'm going to put in this amount of money, right? Does your software help me and justify the cost, right? So by putting this upfront, right, you are now basically telling them that, yeah, I get you, and then this is what builds trust. You're answering the objection right at the start, right? Then everything else that flows from there now, right, you're showing them that, okay, yeah, this makes sense. The benefits do outweigh the cost, right? This person has demonstrated that he understands where I'm coming from, right? So as an example, say one of the benefits, right, is increased productivity, right? So this is how it was originally written. With all the information in one central location, your employees can spend less time looking for things and more time working, right? And the software allows for more streamlined processes and then features and all that, right? And again, this is talking about what your software can do. It's not about them, right? If you say saving time on admin is one thing, right? But the bigger picture is how many jobs your garage can actually get through in a day, right? Again, this is for the ICP, right? The garage business owner, they're thinking of how many completed jobs can I get done every single day, throughput, right? That determines how much money they can make, more per day, right? So by saying this, you now are now expressing again, I understand your situation, right? Then they trust you. Yeah, then that's where you're coming with your features, right? With workflow planning, staff scheduling, etc. and everything, your team spends less time waiting around for instructions and more time on the ramp. Again, you're painting the desired outcomes, like, oh shit, so if I use your software, right, with all these different features, now my team basically uh, is working more efficiently, right? And they're spending more time on the RAM and less time waiting around, right? Then you're explaining it further. This means no gaps in your schedule, jobs assigned more efficiently, and multiple bays moving at the same time, right? You're connecting the dots for them now, right? Your features leading to how their desired outcome will look like, right? All this is for building trust, right? This is signaling to them that you understand them. Yeah. So the last one, right, which is how can you improve employee well-being? Yeah. So you see here, same thing, right? This really is poor quality. Yeah. Did you know that having a well-run garage can improve your employees' well-being? It's true, right? It's like you're communicating to the person like this is a proper business owner, right? Somebody who is making money, and if they come across and they read this, it just reflects very poorly on you, right? They're going to have a very poor um how would I say, like, perception of you, right? So even if they do get on a call with you, they are already very skeptical. Yeah. So what you should be writing, right, in this case is another type of mechanism. It's called identity mirroring, right? If you have been running your garage for a few years, you have probably noticed that the biggest benefit of having this software in place isn't just the time saved or the extra jobs completed, right? It's actually the impact on your team that creates a sustainable, well-run business in the long run, right? So you see what you're doing here. You are now painting to them the picture of what it's like to own this software, right? And it's relating to them again, right? Which is, it's not just employee well-being, right? It is a sustainable culture where people can continuously work, right, and then not burn out, and then that is a result of the software. Yeah. So I hope this like gives you a clearer picture, right, of why you cannot just use AI, right? You need to have a deep understanding of your ICP. You need to do your research, right? So you need to actually go through this process, right? I call this the demo trust engine. Yeah. You need to go through all the steps down here, right? Where you actually go in, you analyze your ICP, you go through your sales call notes, right? Then you break down from there different industries, different pain points, different triggers. Yeah. And then you build out your ICP doc, which is here. And from there, you can now break it down further into different type of articles, right? And the different type of articles, you can now break it down further based on the initial features, right, of your ICP. So you can write very, very targeted content that will actually convert and build trust. Yeah. So hope this helps, right? Other than that, cheers.